11 of the poems have been chosen by my wonderful host here from my book, Heart Words, which was brought out last year. But I'll start with 8 newer poems, which will be in Heart Words number 3, soon to come out. So 8 newer poems, and I'll finish with one poem which I think is my favourite from the book. So that's 20 in all, and it'll last about half an hour, because most poems take about 2 minutes, or 1.5 minutes, or 1 minute. So, and this first one is called May These Flowers, and it's appropriate because there are some beautiful flowers here. But it could also be May These Poems or May These Words. So, may these flowers beautify your table and help you to savour your meals. May you find one to put under your nose, and may they inspire you to wear summery clothes. May these flowers beautify your windowsill and be full for you of lovely messages and meanings. May these flowers help you to express your heart among souls you love. May these flowers transport you to the places you go to in your best memories. And may these flowers take you to the landscapes of your best reveries. May these flowers help you to connect to your passions and your purpose. And may these flowers beautify your morning and set you up for the day. Now the next poem is about some of us here, because it's about what we did meeting during the power cut. Yeah, which was about 2-3 months ago. And we used that opportunity to meet up. So, and it's called In Candlelight. Yeah. In Candlelight. A tree went down in the wind, snapping some power lines, and we learnt how beautiful sharing time can be in candlelight. We went to my neighbour's house because she has a wood burner, and they came to my house because I have a gas cooker, and we learnt how deep conversations can get in candlelight. We should do this more often, someone said, and we each answered yes and confirmed it by looking into each other's eyes and nodding. Let's not wait for a storm. Let's meet whatever the weather. And if we continue after dusk, let's remember how beautiful eyes can look in candlelight. Now, the next poem, we all know that a mother can be very close to a baby. So that if the baby is hungry, the mother knows, and if the baby is happy or smiling, the mother knows. And I was recently told that they did an experiment. I don't know if it's true or not, but when the baby was hungry in one continent, the mother started lactating in another. It was just, and whether or not that experiment is true, I think it sort of tells us something which is true. And lots of poetry and lots of films and novels, they all mention this, that there's a connection, and we know it. And likewise, at the end of life, there are many, many anecdotes about when somebody dies, a close member of the family almost has a message. I mean, I've heard so many anecdotes of this. So, and then my question is, if this is the case, and I think it's the case, what is the significance of that? How wonderful the world actually is, and how wonderful things are. and how they go beyond our normal understanding of what reality is. The fact that there is this connection between people. What is the significance of that? Now, these two sort of events are connected in this poem. It's quite a long introduction. The poem is called Hearts Never Forget. And in it, a mother speaks to her baby, and then later, the baby, a full-grown man, talks to his mother, when she is dying, or something like that. Hearts never forget. A mother knows when her baby is hungry, even if her baby is in another room, and she knows if her baby is smiling, even when he is looking the other way. Go well, my beautiful child, and may your hands and your feet be forever guided by your heart. You have a bright, sunny soul, my child, and you came here to shine your light. My wishes for you are filled with love, even if my words are sometimes gobbledygook. The love we share is wonderful, and hearts never forget. Many years later, that child, now a man, sensed his mother waving from the other side of the world. And even though she was so far away from him, he felt her smiling. Go well, my beautiful mother. Thank you for everything your hands ever did for me. You have a bright, sunny soul, my mother, and thank you for shining your light. My wishes for you are filled with love, even if my words are sometimes gobbledygook. The love we share is wonderful, and hearts never forget. That's when I want to turn into a song. So the last time I was here in October, I had my guitar and these were songs, So that's the one I want to turn into a song. Now, I've been a teacher for many, many years. And I've even started teaching again. But homeschooling. And I've got a 7-year-old boy I'm teaching. And so this one is about how I try to bring something imaginative and how I try to answer questions that he brings in an imaginative way, as is what is encouraged in a Steiner school. And it's called Astronomy Lesson. Astronomy Lesson. When we had read to the end of his astronomy book, my 7-year-old friend wanted more. So I got into my spaceship and flew through my universe and searched for something suitable for him. You know, Father Sun loves Mother Earth, and he expresses his love by smiling, and we feel his smiles as sunshine. Of course, planet Earth loves the sun too, and feels this in her heart. Her birds sense her love when they fly, and the trees raise their branches. The boy then asked me, what is closer to us, the moon or the sun? I asked him what he thought, and he said, the sun. Yes, the sun feels close, but it is really far away. What colour is the sun? He asked me. What colour do you think it is? I said. I think it is orange, he answered. Let's climb the hill now and find out by catching the sunset. You know, because you are a child of the universe, when you close your eyes, you can learn to see the whole of it. First, you might see specks of light, but if you visit them in your spaceship, you can get great answers to all your questions. So like I said before, this next poem is also about education in a way. And I have always been interested in circulation, and the way the blood goes from the heart to the lungs, back to the heart, then to the limbs, then back to the heart, then back to the lungs, in a sort of figure of 8. And once I tried to even make this into a sort of form drawing, so from the heart to the lungs, to the heart, to the limbs, to the heart, to the lungs. And it created a sort of heart in the middle, because I've been fascinated by it. And of course, this happens simultaneously. So it goes to the lungs, but it also goes to and there's a beat in there as well. So it's a bit like a round when it comes to singing. And there's something very beautiful about it that's fascinated me. So I tried to put some of this quality into a poem recently. So it's called Circulation. Hearts to lungs, to hearts to limbs, over and over and over again. Love to you, then back to me, then to the whole world and back again. Boats sail in rivers to the caves of the wind, and then return with gifts. Boats sail again more rivers and streams, and then return with thanks. We send our love songs to the sun, and hear answers in the wind. We send our songs out again, while grasses sway and dance. We dance about in figures of 8 on the beach and among the trees. Trees give oxygen to us, and we give CO2 to the trees. Love sails out and love returns, with a beat of the heart and a breath of the wind. Love to you, then back to me, then to the whole world and back again. Yeah. So now, last time in October when I was here, I did a poem for Claudine, and I have another one. So Claudine died in October 2019, but I wrote this on Mother's Day earlier this year, and it's called Does Heaven Now Shimmer? Does heaven now shimmer the way earth shimmered whenever you walked by? Do you still spark smiles in those around you with your flashing smile? Do you still play board games? Do you still love languages? Do you still love connecting souls together? Does heaven now shimmer the way earth shimmered because of the joy you are? Does everything that is growing and healing still resonate with you? Is tuning myself up to joy still the only way to connect with you? Do you still have a song in your voice? And do you still love cooking and circle dancing? Do you still light up smiles in those around you? I'm sure heaven shimmers a bit more because of you. And the next one, I think when a baby comes to the earth, the baby brings something of heaven, whatever that means, and then has to learn the ways of the world. Okay, so that idea is in this poem. But another idea comes up in this poem, and that is when we fall in love, it's like we're a baby again, and we try and bring heaven again. So it's a bit like a repetition, and that comes up in this poem. It's called The Ways of Earth and Heaven. When the baby tried to share some beautiful truths with his parents, the loving messages he brought to their hearts landed on deaf ears. So he gradually learned to forget the ways of heaven and to learn the ways of earth. In heaven we can be with our loved ones in the twinkling of an eye, whereas on earth we have to go the long way around. In heaven we can speak with our loved ones directly heart to heart, whereas on earth we have to learn a song and dance. The baby knew the ways of heaven and then learnt the ways of earth. Now he is trying to learn the ways of heaven again so he can talk to his lover's heart. He visits her with his heart before meeting her in person, and he shares beautiful truths with her, the way he once tried to do with his parents. And the last one of this section, which is the more recent poems, before I go into the poems from the book, is called Magical Thinking. Magical thinking. We fill our days with magical thinking, especially when we imagine the lives we want to be living. We fill our nights with magical dreaming, and after giving our questions to the night owl, we wake up with the answers. I fill my days with magical thinking, imagining the house I would love to live in. It has an acre garden with a stream and some old fruit trees and a view of a hill, and is all an hour's walk from the sea. I went to sleep imagining this house, and I think the owl enjoyed it too, because along with my usual nightly session of healing, I was given ideas and a suggestion to climb a certain hill in the morning and look towards the sea to a beautiful house in the distance. We fill our days with magical thinking, creating the lives we are living. We fill our nights with magical dreaming, as full of answers to the questions in our hearts as a field of flowers or the song of a lark. So the next few poems are the ones chosen. Thank you for choosing them. And the first one is called The Beautiful Expanse of the Night Sky. The beautiful expanse of the night sky. The shining innocence of the animals shows in their eyes when they look into the beautiful expanse of the night sky. But we do not see what they do, nor is it caught by a camera, even though we think the camera shows things as they are. I have heard that if we are without fear, the animals come close and sit with us. Do they see in us something familiar and something they love? Do they see in us something that is also beheld within the beautiful expanse of the night sky? So this is called The River of Kindness, and it's for somebody who just flows with kindness. So I can think of several people in my life, many people, that this could be true for. The river of kindness. The river of kindness always flows around you. When you talk, you stand in it. The river of kindness always flows around you. When you walk, you splash in it. I'm weaving a basket of words for you with willow made supple by the waters of the river of kindness. I'm filling up this basket with flowers for you that have been blessed by rain that refreshes with kindness. I've been watching you plait kindness into your children's hair and stir goodness into your cooking. The river of kindness always flows around you, and for that I want to say thank you. May your landings always be gentle. May your landings always be gentle. May the waves of goodness always bring you back to shore. May love lift you up onto your surfboard and may a great friendly wave bring you home. May you lift your head up high into the salt sea spray, and when you are lost among the moving sandbanks, may love lift you back onto your surfboard, and may a great friendly wave bring you home. Head down I was drifting out, knee-deep in the ebbing tide, hands clenched, edging closer to the moving sandbanks. A seagull screamed, "Listen!" and I began to listen once more. I listened to the wind as if I was already soaring. I lifted my head up into the salt sea spray. I gave love, and love lifted me up onto my surfboard, and a great friendly wave brought me home once more. Like a puppy happily enjoying the day. If you are feeling a bit worried and your thoughts are circling like a puppy running after its tail, put on your walking boots and do yourself a favour and go for a nice long walk along the trail. I followed my own advice, and the first thing I saw were bees on the buddleia, and I don't know why, but they almost made me smile. The next thing I saw were tree roots lifting up the pavement, and for no obvious reason, I smiled. Then my eyes were caught by some water lilies growing in the River Medway, and suddenly my worries just floated away. The best I can describe it was my heart was off its lead, like a puppy happily enjoying the day. And this is about Ebony. Ebony is our neighbour's cat. Yeah. And she probably met Rupert, certainly met all the others. To dear Ebony, our neighbour's cat. We know you were born in London town. We know you came to Forest Row, but the full extent of your daily travels we don't really know. We know you know about butterflies, and you know about frogs and bees, but the full extent of the creatures you have met remain to us a mystery. There are many, many mysteries, but one thing we are sure, and that is our hearts are gladdened, Ebony, every time you return. Our hearts are gladdened when we see you in the long grass looking up into a tree. Our hearts are gladdened when you see something that has grabbed your fancy. Our hearts are gladdened and we love you, dear Ebony. We know you were born in London town. We know you came to Forest Row. But whether you have been as far as the Lion Spring, we don't really know. So the Lion Spring is literally a stone's throw from here. It's a beautiful local feature which consists of a concrete lion's face with water coming out. And it's a genuine spring. Yeah. So very few left. This one's called Sweet Chestnuts and Leaves. When I stand up straight, my problems slip off my shoulders. When I look towards the horizon, I can't help but stand up straight. When I think about you, I look towards the horizon. When I choose to remember beauty, I think about you. Does the tree feel light-hearted when it gives its gift of sweet chestnuts? And does it stand taller when it drops its autumn leaves? When I stand up straight, my problems slip off my shoulders, and I feel like I'm a tree dropping sweet chestnuts and leaves. When I stand up straight, my problems slip of my shoulders. When I let my problems go, I stand up straight. When I look back at the ground where those problems must have fallen, I don't see anything except sweet chestnuts and leaves. Just before this, we were talking about this 10-year-old girl who's an opera singer, or opera composer. She's composed operas. Now, her name is Alma Dolce, and the three of us in this room who've met her. The name of the poem is actually a Romanesco Cauliflower. And the first time I saw one of these amazing cauliflowers, a bit like broccoli, I couldn't believe it, because it looked like, I think it's like these fractals. It's so beautiful. And the first time I heard any music by Alma Dolce, I thought it was beautiful. So there's a link there. You know. It's called a Romanesco Cauliflower. What's a Romanesco cauliflower doing in the vegetable shop? Is someone playing tricks on us and reminding us of heaven? It is so impossibly beautiful, like a sudden crop circle or the design of a snowflake. What's a 10-year-old child doing, composing a complete opera? Is someone playing tricks on us and reminding us of heaven? It is so impossibly beautiful, like planet Earth, viewed from space. What's a Romanesco cauliflower doing on my cutting board? Is someone playing tricks on us and reminding us of heaven? It's so impossibly beautiful, like the gratitude I feel to you while sharing this meal. So, when I complain about the rain, don't take me seriously. Don't listen to me when I complain. When I complain about the heat of the sun, don't listen to me. It doesn't mean anything. I think at the end of my days, I will remember both the rain and the sun with a lot of love. But I think I will just forget about all those times when I complained. Now this one is called Love and Kindness Cross Borders Everywhere. Love and kindness cross borders everywhere. When the joke, which is funny over here, is not quite so funny over there. When customs and costumes start to jar, it's time to dig deep to the things we share. Things like goodness and friendship. Things like love and kindness. Love and kindness cross borders everywhere. With love and kindness we can jump language barriers and have fun parties with beings from other planets. With love and kindness, even our jokes can again sound funny. When the food which is so tasty over there is not quite so tasty over here. When customs and costumes start to jar, it's time to dig deep to the things we share. Things like goodness and friendship. Things like love and kindness. Love and kindness cross borders everywhere. So this is called In the Gymnasium. Now tomorrow I'm going to Cardiff. And last time we were in Cardiff, in the hotel we were staying, we could look through the window at this gymnasium where people were working out. This is when I wrote this. And I thought, they're doing their physical workouts, but I'm doing my own workouts, spiritual workouts. So it comes in here. In the gymnasium. I'm in the gymnasium working out, but instead of lifting weights, I'm imagining things. I'm imagining your smile, and then looking forward with love to see my vision come true. I'm in the gymnasium working out, but instead of rowing on the rowing machine, I'm accepting things. I'm accepting the wisdom flowing to me from you. And I'm accepting joy on behalf of everyone. I'm in the gymnasium working out, but instead of doing press-ups, I'm preparing for things. I'm preparing to receive a sudden crashing wave as I walk near the sea wall, and I'm preparing my heart to be in a position to surf above it all. This is the last one of this section, and then my favourite from the book. You make November feel like May. Some people wear on their insides a heavy winter coat, even on a beautiful summer's day, but not you. You wear an inner smile, and it brings us so much warmth and sunshine that it can make November feel like May. When you say, I'm happy for you, I'm not confused, because it feels so literal and true. It seems you are always, always happy, and your inner happiness is like sunshine, which grows as you give it away. In winter, you wear on the outside your winter gloves, scarf and hat, but on the inside, you always bring with you a beautiful summer's day, and it brings us so much warmth and sunshine that it can make November, December, January and February feel like May. Now the last one. When my brother looked at the book, he was kind enough to read some of it at least, I think. Not kind enough, it's just, I think he had read a few. He said, which is your favourite? And I just came out with this one. It's called 2 Words. Okay. And I suppose, it's great having lovely words, uplifting words, but if they don't move, if they don't really mean, if they lose their meaning, it's a shame. And it often happens. So you can have the same poem and listen to it twice. And one time it moves and one time it doesn't. So this is called 2 Words. 2 words. When the words thank you lose their children and become just empty words, we long to see our children again. We long for their warmth to return. And when we see them running up the garden path, 2 words erupt from out of our hearts. 2 words, thank you. When the words thank you lose their meanings, when their feelings have flown away like a flock of birds, recite your blessings one by one, and then throw them away like crumbs, and pray your feelings may return. And when we see the birds pecking again on the garden path, 2 words erupt from out of our hearts. 2 words, thank you. When we find ourselves again back in the land of gratitude, with our children and the birds all around us, 2 words gently rise from our hearts. 2 words, thank you. So that's it. 20 poems.
Thank you.
Thank you.